Hey, it's Conrad Thompson, and we are live at myworldpod.com with the one and only, the Hall of Famer himself, the greatest professional wrestler of all time, your friend and mine, Double J, Jeff Jarrett, live from Virginia. Jeff, what's going on, man? How are you?
Connie, 2 weeks in a row, my man. How are you doing? Like, we're turning into this kind of cadence of we're just going right from Dynamite to myworldpod.com. So lots of things went down tonight. I'll let you guide things, but we got a cage match. We got the Owen finals. We've got a gigantic event coming up at the end of May. Beach break coming up in the middle, all kinds of stuff. May's going to be rocking, pal. How are you? How's Alabama? How's Northern Alabama doing this evening?
North Alabama is doing fine. We're on the heels of a big Dynamite. We saw the Elite pick up a win over, and I can't believe this is real, the Elite and Ricochet over Kenny Omega, Kevin Knight, Mark Briscoe, and Mike Bailey. You want to talk about giving some new guys to the organization the rub, Jeff? Kevin Knight and Mike Bailey, this is a big opportunity for them to be in there with guys like the Young Bucks, Okada, Kenny Omega, Ricochet. I mean, this is a deep water test for some young guys on the roster, is it not?
No doubt. And I was kind of moving around. I had a couple of different things I was trying to attend to during the show backstage, but I got to watch, I guess you could say, quite a bit of it. One thing that kind of jumped off the page is, as they say in the wrestling world and the TV world, those boys put in some time. That was an extended. So what a way to kind of come out of the gate, if you will, on Dynamite, and lots of pyro. Those guys started. I don't know if you got to see it, Conrad. I call it the old Tennessee arm crank, and I thought Ricochet, a lot of charisma as he's coming along. But yeah, that is, I guess you could say, to be expected. But a kind of a crazy, incredible 8-man tag.
They went 26 minutes to 25 seconds.
Wow.
Next up, we had the 6-man tag with the Ops picking up a win. And of course, we heard from Samoa Joe afterwards. It looks like Samoa Joe versus Moxley at Double or Nothing. What do you think of that opportunity, Jeff?
You know what? When the beach break in Chicago, and I know Chicago is near and dear, and we're going to maybe talk a little StarCast, which you got up your sleeve. But beach break, when Joe made the challenge down, I was actually in one of the production rooms, and it was pretty cool. A guy sitting next to me as I was moving some stuff around, he said, "Look over your shoulder." And the production folks, I was called it the backstage folks, as Joe began to talk, everybody got quiet, and you could notice the audience. So when he made the challenge for the steel cage, beach break, Chicago, pretty cool. So like I said, month of May is going to be hopping around.
I can't wait to talk about the big show happening in May, but I do want to mention that we saw Toni Storm. She picked up a win tonight after 9 minutes and 23 seconds. We are going to talk about Jay Lethal, but first I want to talk about the finals. I guess it feels like they're set now for Double or Nothing, if I have this right. Will Ospreay versus Hangman Adam Page. Is that the way we understand it for the Owen Hart Foundation Cup?
Now, you know what? Conrad, earlier today, tonight we're in Norfolk Chartway Arena, but earlier today, we actually got in the studio offsite, and I say we, me, RJ, City, and Renee Paquette, and we kind of went through all kinds of different things. We're going to do it next week, and we've got a couple of things coming up, but just to talk about it, and we kind of got into different stories, and just thinking about how all the Owen, when it came on the scene, the Owen Hart name really hadn't been involved in professional wrestling in a long time. And for it to be brought back, and now it's really the centerpiece in so many ways, the precursor to, our biggest event, All In. You win the Owen and you get your shot. So it is set in stone, Double or Nothing. We're going to see Jamie Hayter and Mercedes Moné, and now we're going to see Hangman. Got it. I was thinking Kyle Fletcher was going to eke it out, but we got Hangman and Ospreay, and I've said from day one on 0 Hour, I think this is Ospreay's tournament to lose. So I'm going to go ahead and go out front. I think Ospreay is on such a roll, and the only Brit to ever hold the IWGP title. He's got a journey, and there's all kind of comparisons we can kind of get into. But I'm picking Ospreay. Who you got, Conrad?
I'm going the other way. Jeff, you and I have seen the marketing for All In Arlington. Can you remind me what is the centerpiece of the marketing for All In?
No, say you're going with the belt buckle. You just think a cowboy. Oh, Hangman's not even from Texas, so don't give me that nonsense.
What does that matter? I'm just saying everybody chants cowboy-ish when he comes to the ring. It feels like it's made for Hangman Adam Page. So I guess I'm going to be opposed to you. I think come double or nothing, Hangman Adam Page ekes out the win. Either way, we also know tonight that we saw our great.
Karen just said, Miss Karen is in the room, so
she's in the room.
Oh no! Here we go. His eyes just lit up. Karen,
I thought she didn't make this trip. Would you want to welcome her in and you just go take a lap, champ?
I'm out for a second.
No.
There she is. All right. I love it.
See, now the fun begins, right?
Oh, I'm ready now. I do want to hear, Jeff, what happened with Jay Lethal tonight? I was pumped. I thought, hey, man, he's going to get his ROH TV title back. And it didn't happen. Somehow, some way, Nick Wayne eked it out. Were you surprised?
Conrad, we touched on it a little bit. I think in so many ways, and I'm not going to put Karen in this group. You're putting me on the hot seat, but no.
He's sweating. He started sweating since I sat down.
No.
He's nervous.
He's like, what the fuck is she going to say?
Oh, you see?
Yes, I love it. She's the star of around here. I love it.
If we already got potty mouth.
Okay, good. I'm sorry. No more.
No, back to Jay. He said last week he wanted to get a shot, but he had some cooking, and I really thought he was going to be talking about the group. Kind of at the end of the day, we've all kind of lost our way since the beginning of the year in several ways. I did. I really thought, what is Wayne? He's less than 20. I thought Jay would be. Yeah, I thought Jay would be victorious. It's just kind of that simple. I just think our group is going to kind of retool and revitalize and get our head straight. And got any advice?
You know what's funny? Nick Wayne will turn 20 while we're all out in Arlington. He turns 20 on December 10th of this year.
You mean December or July?
No, I'm sorry. July 12th. July 10th. 2 days before the big pay-per-view. My apologies.
Fun fact.
Isn't that crazy? But
it is crazy. When you think about that, Jeff, you were NWA champion about when he was born.
What you? Oh, here we go.
Hey,
I'm just saying, isn't that wild?
His birthday was yesterday. He just turned 40.
Jay Lethal. Yes, he was born in 1985, Conrad. That's the year I graduated high school. So let's get off this Jeff.
Wait. And Tony beat him for his birthday? I'm going to send a sternly written letter.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Hey, we're live. And we've got the queen here. The lightning rod is here. If you've got a question for the king and queen of the mountain, we'd love to hear it. Jeff, I do want to talk about the big news that I think got everybody a little, got a lot of chatter, as you might say, over the last 24 hours. But before we talk about that news story, I want to talk about what he did tonight. Of course, I'm talking about MJF. He found himself in the ring confronting the Hurt Syndicate. I think he referred to Bobby Lashley as a big bald bee.
Okay.
He
let him talk.
I thought that was interesting that, he once famously referred to me, Jeff, as turkey tits, and that wasn't very nice, but maybe he's got turkey hair. I don't know that somebody who's
that's what I was just going to say. He's making fun of someone or taking a dig at someone that I think Bobby Lashley's done well for himself. He can carry off the baldness, whatever you want to call it. He looks good.
I'm just saying, it feels like
he couldn't carry that off. He had to go pay in another country and have blood split in his head.
Wow, Karen! Wow,
another country.
He flew to Turkey.
Conrad, what are you talking about?
And
he got hair implants in Turkey. You didn't know that?
All over the internet, we've got John Cena talking about being bullied and having to go get his done, and now we've got MJF doing it in our ring and bullying and making fun of someone.
Oh, here we go. Conrad,
he didn't learn anything.
You're pushing buttons.
He hasn't learned anything.
Let's
Do you
just
not
say
agree?
MJF's favorite sandwich is a turkey club, and there's a few people in that club in AEW, but we'll move on. Jeff, I do want to hear from you. You know, there's a little bit of a traction with a statement that you made on this week's episode of My World. You talked a little bit about MJF, and you said that your career has suffered because you shared some screen time with MJF. And I think people are upset and they have differing opinions. Do you want to clarify or add some more context or set the record straight? Or did you nail it the first time? And hey, we'll repeat it for those in the back.
Yeah, in a lot of ways, like I was very clear in what I said, and it has candidly caught me by surprise, Conrad, in a lot of ways on how many feathers, if you will, have been ruffled. Because it's like what is anybody missing here? No matter who read that statement or heard it or didn't hear it. And Conrad, I can tell you, this morning at breakfast, today I did an off-site production deal. Production guys asked me. I got to the arena. I'm going to leave names out of this because I don't want to drag this into the tailwind. But I can't tell you how many people came up and either wanted me to elaborate or wanted to agree or wanted me to clarify. But it became a kind of a crazy topic of discussion. And I said, I don't know what, and I pretty much had the same response to everyone. Like, what I don't understand is what aren't you guys missing? It's very, very, very clear what I said. And you know, Conrad, at the end of My World this last week, you literally, you know, I think you showed the collision backstage segment, and Lexi was very clear on, hey man, what's been going on with you guys? Because we haven't been seen since Huntsville, Alabama, which was January 29th, whatever it may be. So essentially all of February, all of March, and now well into April. And since that scene, the last time I was seen in a AEW ring was, look, you know, me and Claudio were rocking and rolling, but I'll admit it, when I take a fall, I take a fall. I can't overcome Wheeler Yuta and John Moxley. I can't overcome three guys. And that was pretty clear that, all right, it wasn't my night, to say the least. But to kind of add insult to injury, MJF has to come down and, you know, drop me with his diamond ring. And look, I get it. But from that point forward, I hadn't been seen. And it is not for lack of effort. And Sanjay likes to say he can pull the strings. He obviously hasn't. Jay said it very clear. Sanjay, what the hell's going on with you? But if anybody wants to dispute and literally question what I said two things. One, I'm the veteran. I'll take full responsibility for the situation. But nobody can dispute. Since I had, and I cleared it, I didn't work with MJF. I had interactions. Since the interactions with MJF,
well, listen, since we got everybody stirred up, do you think we should play the clip? We've got it ready.
Well,
yeah.
I guess I don't really understand. So everyone's stirred up. What is everyone stirred up?
Play the clip.
Well, let's explain it, Karen. Here we go. We'll roll that footage right now.
Okay.
Another point I got to say is MJF, ever since he got involved in anything that had to do with myself, has turned to absolute shit. I told him multiple times, you know, in the Cincinnati when we both got in the gutter, but I told him before that, I said, hey man, you're going to say what you want to say. And if you want to go in the gutter, I don't want to go there. It's not good for me. I don't believe it's good for you. I don't believe it's good for the product. He did that. He obviously took high offense to me wanting AEW Gold, and I won't get into all that mess, but yeah, I mean, you look, and when I really take a step back and look at all of it, there's not one talent that has been, and I don't say worked with, because I hadn't really worked with MJF. Have I been involved with it? Yeah, on a certain level. He always leaves everyone worse than when he started being associated on any level. I think he's toxic. I think he's selfish. I think he's got a boatload of talent, but I don't think he was good for my career on any level. I think he got me off on a wrong track on a couple of different avenues. I also think that I'm the one to blame. I've been around a long time. I think Sanjay gets kind of dialed into things, and I think he lost his way, and I think us as a group in a lot of ways lost his way, and I'm the veteran, and I should take more of a mindset on it. But we'll see where this thing goes. But listening to the wrong people is kind of the understatement of my 2025 AEW career.
Conrad, hold on, before Karen's wound up, Connie. Hold on, Connie. What part of that is controversial or people don't understand?
That's what I'm asking. What is wrong with that?
Let's let Conrad answer. I want to hear this.
I don't know. I think some people get uncomfortable with the truth, Jeff.
So when you say some people, are there fans that are upset about your interview?
Well, I think Karen, right now everybody's kind of confused. It was, gosh, I guess about a week ago today that the biggest movie star in the world told us that absolutely everything that happens on TV, every interview, every word, everything about the business is a work. So I think people are wondering, is Jeff trying to work an angle with MJF, or is this the real Jeff Jarrett talking about the real Max? Is there heat? Are we going to see potatoes? Are you guys going to fight after school in the parking lot? Like, what's
look, 1, I'm not working with him. 2, look.
Okay, I'm going to say this.
Hold on. Let me finish. Me and Max, whether it's in the hotel lobby, whatever. Come on, Conrad. Look at he's a kid. But with that being said, everything I said, what is not accurate? Most importantly, I'm the vet. I let it happen. When we would it goes up saying we all arrive at the building and you have this and that, all this kind of stuff. And I screamed one day at him. I screamed.
He's alive.
But I let it be known to a few different folks, dude, you don't want to go where you've gone with other people in the past. And that's what I refer to in the gutter. And he did. So like, what I don't understand, there are no blurry lines here. Like what's the issue? Has my career gotten better? And I mean this, I'd want to leave some things left unsaid. Listening to the wrong people is kind of the statement out of all of this. And that's on me. I've listened to some wrong people, and I'm here to begin to take the steps correcting. And when Jay going out there tonight as a single, I don't think that's a step in the right direction. Satnam, he needs all the reps he can get, and he's truly a 1 in a billion. He had a ROH match. There's a lot of different moving parts. Sanjay was nowhere to be found. This is not where I want my career to be going. And to have kind of this tailwind BS, there is no Jeff storyline with Max.
King of Strong Style is with us here, Jeff, and he says you probably won't see Double J on AEW TV anymore after this. He says it's AEW. Everything is great, don't you know? AEW. You can't say anything bad about AEW. It's bad faith. He's told the truth, but it's AEW. You're not allowed to criticize AEW. Even Conrad knows that. What do you make of these comments?
But we're not criticizing. Jeff's not criticizing. He's literally talking about himself and his storyline and the mistakes that he's made and listening to the wrong people.
It's not story. It's my career. That's what I don't really get. But anyhow.
It's all together. It's all one thing.
I know.
Matthew Thomas is with us here live, Jeff, and he wants to know, why are you not on the show?
That's a good question. Ask Sanjay. Seriously, that is I would straight up ask Sanjay and see what kind of answer he would give you.
Jack says MJF is trash. No argument for me. Not a good dude, folks. Kieran, you'll be glad to hear this. Our great close personal friend, the Blue Meanie, is with us here live tonight. How cool is that?
Dr. Evil.
Shout out to Meanie. I love that.
Shout out to Meanie.
Wesley Vaughn is with us here live, and he's got a great question for you, Karen. How about a Karen Jarrett versus Mother Wayne match? What do you think? Did you take Nick Wayne's
and
mama?
That's where, if I was out there tonight, I would have ripped that bitch's hair out.
Oh, yes. You should have had to go to Turkey to fix all that.
Oh, how about that, Connie?
Fuck her.
I love that.
Oh,
Wesley Vaughn wants to know, hey, this is for Karen. Who would you like for Jeff to face in his farewell match in AEW? Of course, we know that Jeff signed a 1-year deal, so the clock is ticking. Karen, what do you think? Who would you like to have? Do you have a preference?
Gosh, who would I want you to face?
Don't say Mama Wayne. I know that's for you. But who's he going to wrestle?
God.
That's a good question.
It's a great question.
Yeah, I don't know.
See, and now if we're going like history, and I would say Samoa Joe. You have a lot of history with
Oh,
Jeff.
wow. Okay.
That's interesting. Oh, man.
I definitely wouldn't go with any of the young bucks.
Oh, would you be nice? Come on.
But the literal Young Bucks or just, you know?
No.
Did you say Young Bucks with a B or an F?
No, F.
She said,
Oh.
Yeah, shame on her.
That's, yeah, wow. Okay. Karen After Dark. I love it when she's shot out of a cannon.
Oh, no.
I got to tell you, I'm pretty fired up about this. I think this could be a fun topic for the show. If you were going to have one final match, who would the dream opponent be? I mean, I think most people in the live chat right now would say MJF. I'm sure some people would think, oh, there's a story for you and Jay Lethal, but I hope y'all never have a falling out.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, I mean, I thought that I was almost going to respond with Jay, but our Cody would be mad about that.
Oh my gosh, and he wouldn't choose us.
No, yeah, he'd be cheering.
Oh my God,
he would not choose us.
Well, let me ask you: if that were to happen, Jeff, would you keep Sottenham in the divorce at least? Do you think? I mean, you need
I don't know
that guy.
that he would keep me. I don't know that I would stay.
Oh, Connie, we'll figure it out. I don't know. That's a good question. Something for me to kind of think through and maybe get some My World listeners engaged on that and try to get a little groundswell and head in that direction. But look, to me, that's a long ways off. And I know, look, anything can happen in this industry. Look, I've said it. If you really know the whole DNA of all of this, I would love to see our group attain AEW Gold. It's just that simple. Things got twisted and turned, and then I listened to a few different wrong folks, and we took a leap of faith. And I mean, we've kind of spun out. And look, there's a lot of backwind, and people are, maybe I'll say people are upset. Some folks are upset on the way I said some things, but I stand behind it all. It's the absolute truth. Since the end of January, where's my career gone? The month of January, what did I do? I went up there and put planted the flag in the ground, knew the direction I was going. I couldn't literally get out of the cannon until somebody's got to be involved. And that was MJF. I'm not going there. Let's just move on from that. It's nonsense.
I'm going to be online all night tonight because I don't know how anybody could be upset after watching that.
Hey, Jeff, I do want to ask you, when you take a look at all the champions across the AEW banner right now, let's set aside Jon Moxley as the world champion because I recognize that would be everybody's ultimate goal. But as you take a look around everything else, you see the AEW World Tag Team Champions of the Hurt Syndicate and Lashley and Shelton Benjamin. You know, Okada is the Continental Champion. You know that the Ops are the Trios Champions. We know Kenny Omega is the International Champion, and Adam Cole is the TNT Champion. If you were to think about your group or you individually, is there one of those titles that appeals to you more than the other? Or maybe better said, is there a matchup that you think favors you? And you think, boy, if I could really just make my goal a blanket, I want AEW Gold, I think I match up well against this guy or that guy.
You know what? I have been a fan, I'll say, far it sounds like distant, but I'd love to get in the ring with Adam Cole. I would absolutely love to get in the ring with Adam Cole. In his prior company, I was a fan on how he just the way he ascended in a lot of ways. Got a lot of respect for him. When he came in here, came out like a cannon. Look, the foot injury, he's had a rough go, but you can see him getting back on track. So if we're talking singles, I would love to be head up against him, and I would prepare for that match like it was my rookie 1986 preparing for a match against Kurt Hennig or whatever it may be. But I've also said this many times since I arrived. And look, me and Jay got a long history. And we caught up today talking about his birthday and everything that went with that. But I do believe this. Where I'm at in my career, Satnam Singh is truly a 1 in a billion. To be in the ring with that guy, to help or to be a part of him winning AEW Gold, that really is my ultimate bucket list item in AEW that I can just taste it. I can see it. I've been a huge fan of his country since I went over there and produced Ring of King, and one of the greatest experiences personally and professionally. But to be in the ring and see Satnam, I'm a basketball junkie, so the basketball junkie aside, but just to see this guy who's come in and really dedicated his life, and he's getting wins and reps and everything that goes with it to develop talent. And that is, Conrad, we talk about it every Tuesday on the My World, whether it's giving a young guy from Georgia, Alan Jones, a break and AJ Styles to where he's at, or we could go down the list. I could go down the list of who my dad gave breaks to. For me to be a part of seeing Satnam come from really, I'll call him a basketball player, to AEW Gold, that is something special. We're a group. We've got a group text. Sometimes it gets ugly. Sometimes it doesn't. It's kind of been off the rails, though. It has the last 2 months, because we feel like we've been in quicksand, and there is a level of frustration on so many levels. And Sanjay, it's no hidden secret. He knows he's dropped the ball multiple times. Now, he worms his way out of it and kind of comes up with excuses, but I'll wrap it, with this. I would love to face Adam Cole, or I'd love to be in the situation where we win trios gold.
Yes.
I love the idea of you talking about you and Adam Cole. While you were talking, I did some quick research. I love the idea of you having the TNT Championship. According to Cage Match, between Dynamite and Nitro, I think you've had 112 matches on TNT. And as you and I are talking, John Moxley has had 123 appearances on Dynamite, but that's not to say matches. So I think you actually may have more matches on TNT than any wrestler in the business right now. So it's fitting.
How about that?
You might actually be the perfect fit for the TNT Championship.
There you go.
Speak it into existence, Connie. Speak it into existence.
Really quickly, I'm going to double check, because I think the only competitor for that would be John Moxley. So if you're not number one, you're number two, Jeff, all time with matches on TNT, as far as I think all active wrestlers right now. So I'm pulling for you, dude. That's a hell of a goal. I love that.
That'd be cool. It really would. And look, Adam has and I don't want to go, because I don't like to consider myself. Look, I like to think forward and all that, but Adam has a sense of his cadence in the ring that is, I can relate to it. I'm not going to say we wrestle the same, because he's a little bit smaller, probably a little bit faster. Our stars aren't exactly, but I can see us having a really good head-up matchup.
For sure.
Shout out to Efren, who says, Queen. We appreciate him being here to support Miss Karen. Jeff, I think this last question is for you. He wants to know, what entails the Director of Business Development? I think once upon a time, that was your official title with AEW. I don't know if that's still the case, though.
Am I allowed to? That's like boring news. Like, I saw something about Eric Bischoff today and Hulk Hogan.
Oh,
Am I allowed to ask about that?
She's
That's
curious.
way more. That's
She's
way
curious.
more.
Yes, that title no longer
entertaining than
exists.
that.
Yes, but that title is by the wayside. But yeah, she's asking about the.
I was asking him before we got on here.
Yeah.
Well, what?
Give me
what do you
something,
know?
Conrad.
Okay, so
Give her the elevator. I tried to tell her it's freestyle wrestling.
that's exactly it. So, for example, if you're a badass collegiate wrestler, and let's say you win the NCAA championship, and well, now you're finished with school and you've finished your eligibility with the NCAA, but you've decided you don't want to follow the Kurt Angle path and try your hand at professional wrestling, and maybe you don't want to follow the MMA path that would eventually have the ultimate goal as being in the UFC, because, well, you don't want to learn jiu-jitsu, or you don't really like getting punched in the face.
Okay.
At that point, what other options are there besides perhaps coaching? Well, now for the first time ever, much like there's breakouts of the different fighting disciplines in MMA. For instance, TKO just announced that they're doing TKO boxing with Saudi funding. So TKO will now offer professional wrestling, mixed martial arts with the UFC, and boxing through TKO Boxing. Well, the brand new promotion that Left Lane Capital, the same people who did Shaun White's snowboarding league, and I think they've got some other leagues, a volleyball league, they're developing Real American Freestyle. So think about, the big production, the big pyro, the big music, the big screens, the big presentations. It's going to be freestyle wrestling, but on a big stage like that.
I love it.
So they've got some big announcements. I probably shouldn't say some of the names that I know that are associated with it, but they're names that everyone would recognize.
You can call us after and tell us.
Yeah, there you go. I'm really excited for it, and I think they're going to be doing one hell of a media tour. It's going to be really hard to miss them tomorrow on television, on the radio, on the internet, it'll be everywhere. So everyone pay attention for Real American Freestyle, which I think is interesting, Jeff, another combat sport.
You know how I like entrepreneurial spirit, and this is something that when you look about it, long time coming. The presentation, my little brother Jason, he wrestled all through high school, and then he actually helped coach. And back in the day, this is right up his alley. Yeah, I think it's going to be super successful.
Maybe Judson will get back into it.
You never know.
Hey, take off on here.
Great, happy. Good luck to all involved.
Yes, congrats.
Karen, we'll finish with this one. This is a great question from Michael.
Lord,
he wants to know, if you never went into wrestling, what do you think you would be doing instead? So, Karen, if you weren't involved in wrestling,
I would be at home being a mom.
Okay, but let's say you were going to leave the home and work outside of the home. What career do you think that would be?
Some type of sales, probably something boring.
Yeah, I think you'd do good in sales. Jeff, what about you?
Nothing exciting.
If I didn't get into wrestling?
If you weren't in wrestling.
It's like an accident for me to be doing this.
If I didn't get into wrestling?
Yes, sir.
Coaching.
Oh,
basketball?
Of course, basketball, but coaching.
What kind of, just basketball?
Probably basketball, because that's what I love the most. But I love. It's competitive.
He's got a book upstairs that he has always wanted to write write songs. Like that's one of his dreams that he has.
Songwriter. Yeah.
Well, Jeff, I mean, I know there's been speculation, there's been rumor and innuendo, and I think, not to speak out of turn, there's been people behind the scenes who are sort of twisting your arm about maybe potentially considering, hypothetically, opening a wrestling school.
What?
Oh, God.
What?
Well, hang on. I'm just saying, if you said you had a passion for maybe, perhaps, possibly coaching, do you think there's a way you could bring your two passions for coaching and wrestling together with a wrestling school? Is that a possibility?
Tell him. Let's go.
You're just winding her up. At the right time, I am thinking about that. There's so many things.
I'm going to be, from this conversation right here, I'm going to be so in his face like this tonight talking about it.
Yeah. So.
He'd be so amazing, and it would do so well. There is nothing in our area that.
What would you call it, Karen? What would be a fun name for it?
What would you call it? Slapnuts Academy.
Oh God, can you imagine?
I don't know. Maybe we could have a contest. Somebody could help come up with a name.
I'm just saying, if we get you to dress up like the Catwoman and put you in the ads, Miss Karen, you're gonna have a whole different clientele at Slapnuts Academy.
I'm ready for bed.
All right, boys and girls, that'll do it.
Fun talk.
Yeah,
if you haven't already,
you don't want to talk wrestling. She wants to talk this.
Yes.
Anyway.
Hey, we're gonna have a group text about the wrestling school. Just so you know.
I'm for it. I'm all for it. And I hope you guys had fun tonight. We're going to try to do this as often as we can immediately following Dynamite. You don't want to miss your chance to be a part. Go right now and hit the subscribe button. And most importantly, turn on the notifications bell. It's totally free, and you get to be interactive with Jeff and hopefully Karen every week after Dynamite. Check it out. It's myworldpod.com.
Don't be crybabies. Don't be whiners.